Certain times of year are better for buying certain things like cars, mattresses, maybe plane tickets, Mary.
Now is the time to invest in protecting your computer with a special on preventative maintenance.
Thor Schrock is here to compute this. Good morning, Thor.
Hello,
Good morning.
Thor.
I had no idea there was a mattress season.
There is.
There is.
There's a mattress
It's
season.
called Independence Day, Labor Day, Memorial Day.
All the holidays, yeah, when you have a day off from work. All right, so what do you cover during these preventative maintenance checks?
All right, well, we talked about them a little bit last week. The sale is still ongoing over at the service center. These sales tend to go for a few weeks. Our guys are doing a really good job of keeping caught up. But the main thing we're trying to do with a preventative maintenance checkup, that's the thing. A lot of people will come in and they'll drop off their computer. And I had to have a training session with my front desk staff. You need to ask the question, okay, we can do the preventative maintenance checkup, but are you having any specific problems with the computer? Because sometimes people will bring it in and be like, just need a maintenance checkup, please. And they're hoping that maybe the maintenance checkup will just fix this other problem. And then when we call them back and say, okay, we got the checkup done, like, did you happen to notice that when you press the F11 key on Thursday, So, basically we have to go through and ask those questions. But the preventative maintenance checkup is designed to identify problems with your computer before they can become really massive problems that will cost you more money or time, especially downtime to
Like
fix.
a hard drive crash or something that significant.
Yeah, or a motherboard that's going to fail, or a power supply that's damaging other components in the computer.
How many people do these maintenance checks? I mean, are there any figures out there like, I don't know, 50% of the people? Because it seems like people just bring their computers in when there's something wrong with them.
Well, it is a nationwide thing. They are available nationwide from many computer repair shops. To give you an idea, the Best Buy Geek Squad offers preventative maintenance at $120 per checkup. I mean, that's like the out-of-network Allegiant price right there.
Right.
Well, and that's a figure to keep in mind as we start talking about the value right now at Schrock Innovations.
Yeah, I mean, normally ours are $80.
A fraction of that.
Yeah, and now we have them on sale for half off. You can get them for $39.99 right
That's
now.
incredible.
That's 25% of the figure you gave us a moment ago with it being on
Yes.
special right now. So how often should we have it done? What's your recommendation?
You should have a maintenance done to your computer every 6 months. Just like going to the dentist, we should go to the dentist every 6 months.
Yeah.
Now, some of us might wait till 8, I can squeeze a little, and you can do that with your computer, and it's not going to blow up or go up in smoke or anything. But the thing is, when you have a problem with a computer, most problems do take a period of time to manifest. And so if you go longer than 6 months, you're increasing the risk that you're going to have a problem when you come in that we're like, oh boy, now you need a hard drive, now you need a motherboard, now you need a power supply, and maybe we should just look at a new computer. The preventative maintenance keeps you out of that group and makes your computer last longer. There is no inflation. We all know that, right? Cereal, cars, whatever you're looking at, mattresses. There is no inflation. There are some inflated mattresses, though.
You talked about some of the things, but what are some of the issues that you guys sniff out?
Sure. I mean, probably the most common
It
one.
makes you sound like a canine.
Yeah, well,
He's an investigator.
Norton 360 has bloodhound technology,
that.
but no, some of the more common things that we see, obviously are hard drives that are in the initial stages of failure, especially in laptops. As more and more people have moved to laptops, a lot of people will sit there and they'll put their laptop on the arm of the couch and they'll be computing along, and then the kid will run by and knock the cable with a foot, and whoo, there goes the laptop, but I caught it. Oh, that was a close one. Just that jolt of catching it when it's running is enough to cause a hard drive to have a problem. So we can identify those failures before they happen. We can identify power supplies that aren't working right. In laptops, especially cooling fans. There's a tiny little fan in a laptop, and if that fan gets clogged,
Well, you hear from people who complain about their legs burning after a while.
Oh, yeah.
Your laptop
You were
sitting
talking
there.
about the hard drive. Why is that little jolt significant? Why can that do damage? There's like a little needle in there, right? Or
sure.
how does it work?
Well, about half of the American population still remembers what a record player is. So.
We're among the 50%. Go ahead, Thor.
So you have a record player. It has one needle on the top of the record. Now imagine you have 4 records stacked up in a stack, spaced out, and there's a needle on the top and the bottom of every record continuously playing a tune. And then you kick the record player. That's why it's important, because these basically the needles on the record inside your hard drive are designed to float over the surface of the drive like an airplane wing, nanometers. So I mean, we're talking, if the naked eye, you would think they were touching. So they're just floating on there. That's why it has to spin it so fast, because it gets it up in there and floats it on there. Well, when you jolt that thing, those needles touch the record. And it's spinning at 7,200 rotations a minute. If you keep it on there for just a fraction of a second, you'll carve a perfect little ring on your hard drive
scratch it.
and destroy all the data that was in that
Damage the
spot.
data that was there.
Yeah.
So what do we bring in? If it's a laptop or if it's a desktop PC, what do we bring with us?
Okay, so laptops, it's easy. We need the laptop itself and we need the power cord. The reason we want your power cord is during the maintenance checkup, we test your power supply on a laptop. That's the brick on the power cord. So bring your power cord in. If you forget it, we've got power cords, but then we can't test yours.
Right, it's best to bring it.
With a desktop, this used to be really easy. With a desktop, we don't need anything. Just bring in the tower part, the big thing. That's all we need. The challenge is now in HP's infinite wisdom, some of their desktops come with power adapters that look like laptop power adapters, so they don't have to put a power supply in the case.
So bring that. If you have a brick attached to your
Yeah, if you have a brick on your power cord,
desktop,
bring it in.
That's the only caveat.
2 locations in the Metro, Village Point, Papillion, and then one in Lincoln as well. What's the turnaround time?
Right now, we're looking at about 2 business days, so things are going very nicely right now. Now, that probably won't be the case tomorrow, however.
And when will the price go away, that $39.99?
We're going to be running the special through the end of the month. It'll take, we have not, you're hearing it on the blend before we send our email blast and before we go live on the radio show and do the big maintenance checkup radio shows. And that's when we really get punched. So you really, we're going to send the email this week during the middle of the week. You really want to try to get in today or tomorrow if you're concerned about the turnaround time.
It's a tremendous value, $39.99 for 8 hours of work. Thor, thank you.
Thank you,
It's good
guys.
to see you.